welcome to Maiden Over. It was a great match actually because for once the bowlers were taking charge and it was entertaining to watch. So Siddharth, what did you think about today's match?
That was a horrible performance by Mumbai. I didn't like any. They didn't perform at all. And I think the main reason they got such a low score was because of Ishan Kishan.
Well,
He used six. His score was 6 off 17 balls. That's almost 3 overs of balls, and he only scored 6 runs off it.
that is true, but then he was promoted up the order, and also um, I don't think it was his fault. I would say it was the middle order. Again, I told you last post match in the preview show that their middle order is not performing. Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya, and Pollard, and even today they failed. So I think that is one of their major worry for them.
No, they didn't have the wickets was not a problem. It was just how they. It was just because they didn't. They just weren't getting enough runs per over.
That's true, but it was because the bowlers bowled really well.
And
And
Ravi-
if somebody had gone through all the way to the 20 overs, then if others could have just supported him, then at least they should have got to 150.
But Ravi Bishnoi did such a good job,
Yeah, his leg spins were like
and
fun to
he
watch.
did googlies too. He did
Yeah.
like that googly off. He got the wicket off.
And even
Quinton de
Deepak
Kock.
Hooda bowled today, so he got a wicket too.
Yeah.
So that was good to watch.
And then they put Moises Henriquez in.
Yeah.
He took
did well.
He took a few catches. He did pretty good.
And Mohammad Shami as well. He
Mhm.
did. Basically, I think they the bowlers and the fielders did very well today.
Yeah, but now moving on to
No,
their
the batting.
yeah, now batting. I said moving on to the batting. KL Rahul, of course, as always. Mayank Agarwal. KL Rahul and Agarwal, they always build a partnership at first, but then Agarwal is always the one to break it.
Yeah, but today's that opening, the power play was extremely important. The amounts of the runs they scored in the power play was extremely important because later on it became extremely difficult even for like a player like Chris Gale to play. It was that difficult.
I saw at one point he was like 6 off like a more amount of balls. It was pretty
He
hard
was
for
struggling because
But-
Rahul Chahar and Kunal Pandya, it was just spinning like crazy, and the ball was bouncing unevenly, and it was like really difficult.
But
to
then
bat.
after that, that's when Chris Gale started going on the attack. That huge six, that 95-meter six he hit was, and then he just kept on going. KL Rahul started going as well. It was an easy win for them. It was.
It did not look as easy as it shows on the
It-
scorecard.
it
For
was-
me, like the 95-meter six he hit, because of which the ball was changed, and the same thing happened again. The ball started to turn really well, and then the spinners came into the attack, and the match actually became very close at one
it was like
point.
24 of 24 balls.
Until I think Gale latched on to Trent Bolt, I think, and that's when things, he just hit him for a couple of boundaries, and that's when they were like Punjab was sure to win at that point.
But now moving on to tomorrow's match. Rajasthan Royals versus KKR. Both of them
Both are in the bottom
both
two.
are in the bottom. But who do you think is going
I
to win?
am still going with the Rajasthan Royals. I think they have the potential, but they need a couple of changes to get that energy back. And Sanju Samson, I feel like he's just not there as a captain. And but I still feel the youngsters in those team, like the Devatiyas and the Parags, and I feel like they still have it in them to turn things around. And Joss Butler, of course, needs to get a big one. David Miller. So I'm still going with the Rajasthan Royals. What about you?
KKR. I put them in my top 4, and I'm going to go for them because lately they've been doing better. Like Andre Russell's getting into form because that match against CSK, they got up to that 200 range, which is a big thing. It's pretty big, and they were like 6 wickets down. I think they're getting into form a little more. I think Rana is doing pretty good. And then they put Varun Chakravarti in again, and then they have Shivam Mavi,
Sunil Narayan is
Sunil
back.
Narayan. Yeah, he's back. Russell, Morgan, all of them are getting back into form.
But they need to get in Lockie Ferguson, right?
And
He
Kuldeep
needs to come
Yadav.
in.
Kuldeep Yadav has always been part of that team.
They always sideline him for some reason, but I think the problem with KKR, which I feel is like If the top order perform, the middle order doesn't perform. If the middle order performs, the top order doesn't perform. It's the same thing. If the bowlers perform, the batsmen don't. So they all need to come together for them to, go ahead. But I hope tomorrow, let's see what happens. But I'm still going with Rajasthan Royals.
And I am going with KKR.
What about you?
Leave your prediction down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win for Rajasthan Royals against KKR?
And also post your thoughts on today's match. One more interesting comment before we say goodbye was that the commentators and the experts were all saying that the pitch was not a good pitch, and because the batsmen were not able to hit it through, and I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, a pitch isn't a good pitch if the batsman just can't hit. It's just the pitch is hard to play. It's not a bad pitch.
Yeah, just because it favors the bowlers doesn't mean the pitch is bad. I mean, the bowlers also should get some advantage. It's not like the batsmen should come and play hit shots all the time. So I felt this match was very entertaining. In fact, all the matches at Chennai was very entertaining and close matches. If you see, Wankhede has always been one-sided in my opinion. So I find this pitch to be a good one, actually. For once, we see the bowlers getting on top and actually changing the game. So we leave that, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.